Hello, everyone. Welcome to the U.S. Immigration Hub. This is breaking news. Something truly historic just happened in Washington. After years of political gridlock, Congress has finally passed a sweeping new immigration reform bill that could reshape the lives of millions of immigrants across the United States. This is being called one of the most comprehensive immigration overhauls in decades, and it touches nearly every major area, from green cards to work permits, from asylum rules to border security. If you live in the U.S. as an immigrant, a student, or a worker, or if you're waiting abroad for your visa, this new legislation could change everything. Welcome back to the channel. Today's update is urgent, emotional, and incredibly important for anyone following U.S. immigration policy. The bill, officially titled the U.S. Immigration Reform and Modernization Act of 2025, passed both the House and Senate. After months of negotiations and intense debate, supporters are calling it a new era for the American immigration system, while critics warn it could bring big enforcement challenges. But make no mistake, this legislation is historic. So, what's actually in it? Let's break it down. First, the biggest headline. Congress has finally created a 10-year legalization pathway for certain undocumented immigrants who have been living, working, and paying taxes in the U.S. Those who meet eligibility criteria, including background checks, employment history, and proof of long-term residence, will be allowed to apply for conditional legal status, which could eventually lead to permanent residency and then citizenship. This is a major step toward resolving the decades-long debate over America's undocumented population. Next, there's a huge expansion of employment-based green cards. The bill removes long-standing country caps, meaning backlogs for countries like India and China, where applicants have waited decades, could finally begin to move faster. This change is being celebrated by tech workers, healthcare professionals, and international graduates who've been stuck in endless waiting lines despite contributing to the U.S. economy for years. The new system prioritizes merit-based criteria, but also rewards those with consistent U.S. work history and community ties for family-based immigration. For family-based immigration, the reform includes something families have been pleading for: faster reunification timelines. The bill introduces digital case tracking and processing targets designed to cut wait times in half by 2027. It also restores visa numbers lost in previous years due to administrative delays. That means thousands of families separated by years of bureaucratic backlog may finally see light at the end of the tunnel. But immigration reform is never just about visas. It's also about border and security measures. The new law invests billions in modernized border technology, AI-driven surveillance systems, and new asylum processing centers aimed at making the system more efficient and humane. Instead of long detentions, the new framework proposes community monitoring programs and faster legally reviewed asylum decisions within 90 days. Another headline change is the introduction of a new startup visa category for entrepreneurs and innovators. This visa allows foreign founders to live and work in the U.S. while building their companies, provided they create jobs for American workers. It's being called a game changer for global talent and could give the U.S. a huge competitive advantage in attracting skilled professionals, students, and temporary workers. The reform streamlines the transition from student visa to work visa to green card. This means that talented graduates from U.S. universities, especially in STEM fields, won't have to leave the country while waiting for their next visa. It also introduces new protections for H-1B and L-1 workers, including clearer wage requirements and safeguards against exploitation. Now let's talk about something that will affect many viewers: the new green card renewal and re-entry policies. Under this bill, lawful permanent residents who've lived in the United States for more than 10 years will now enjoy automatic re-entry eligibility after short absences abroad, reducing unnecessary travel anxiety. It also strengthens legal protections for green card holders facing delays or unjust denials in renewal cases. The reform doesn't stop there. It also includes humanitarian updates, expanding protections for DACA recipients, refugees, and individuals under temporary protected status. For the first time, dreamers could have a direct path to permanent residency without having to wait for another executive action or court decision. Politically, this is a remarkable shift. For years, Congress has struggled to pass any meaningful immigration legislation. Both parties have traded blame, and millions of families have lived in uncertainty. But this time, a bipartisan coalition of lawmakers came together, driven by business leaders, civil rights groups, and immigrant communities demanding reform. The final vote was close, 61 to 39 in the Senate, but it passed, and now it's heading to the president's desk for signature. It's expected to be signed into law within days. Let's talk about how this affects you, starting with those already in the United States. If you're a green card holder, expect improvements in digital services, faster processing for renewals, and more transparency and case updates. If you're waiting abroad for a visa, you might see major movement in the visa bulletin over the coming months. For undocumented workers with established roots in the United States, experts say implementation will take time, possibly months or even a year. But the structure is there. The Department of Homeland Security and USCIS are already preparing to issue detailed guidance and open new application channels. Immigration lawyers are urging people not to rush to file anything yet, but to start organizing documentation, proof of residence, tax records, employment history, and family connections, because demand will be huge once applications open. This reform could also have ripple effects on the United States economy. Analysts project that by providing legal work authorization and reducing visa backlogs, the bill could add billions in tax revenue and strengthen industries that depend on skilled immigrant labor. From tech hubs like Silicon Valley to manufacturing towns across the Midwest, employers have long said outdated visa limits were holding back innovation and growth. Of course, not everyone is celebrating. Some lawmakers argue that the legalization pathway could encourage future unauthorized migration, while others worry that the bill's enforcement measures may go too far. But most experts agree that this legislation represents the most balanced compromise the United States has seen in years, combining compassion with security and modernization with accountability. It's important to remember that this bill doesn't erase all immigration challenges overnight. Implementation will require new funding, coordination across agencies, and perhaps most importantly, public trust. But for millions of immigrants who've waited, contributed, and hoped, this moment is historic. It marks a turning point in how America defines opportunity, fairness, and belonging in the 21st century. So, what happens next? The president is expected to sign the bill into law within the week, after which DHS and USCIS will release official guidelines. Expect a wave of executive actions, memos, and agency updates outlining eligibility forms and filing timelines. We'll cover every step here on this channel, from what documents you'll need to how to apply to who qualifies under the new pathways. For now, take a moment to appreciate the magnitude of this news. Whether you've been waiting for years to reunite with family, to move up from a work visa to a green card, or to finally live without fear, this reform offers new hope. It's not just policy, it's people's lives changing in real time. Thank you for watching today's breaking news update. If you found this helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone following U.S. immigration updates. Your support helps us continue bringing reliable and accurate information to immigrants around the world. Stay tuned. We'll keep you updated as soon as the president signs the bill and the first details are released. Until then, stay hopeful, stay informed, and as always, thanks for watching.